I will say that I remember we did have a 40-minute long version of The Writing of Only the Young, which was kind of amazing. You know, I could watch that forever. So I'm sad we had to cut it down to 5 minutes.
There was also a moment where her brother's with her in her kitchen, and he calls her out for wearing only her own merch at home.
Yeah.
And she's like, but it's free for me. You know, but she's wearing her own sweats and sweatshirt and t-shirt.
Yeah.
That was fun. It's a long scene, which is why I didn't make it, but Taylor backstage getting ready for her Reputation show, getting dressed. And the song they played before she came out was Bad Reputation by Joan Jett. And she's sitting there singing it to herself while she's getting worked up to do the concert. It's like she's slowly putting her armor on, trying to get rid of the good girl and muster her bad reputation.
Our first cut was 72 minutes.
We kind of did it backwards that way.
Yeah.
You know, starting with like the precision cut, and then adding to it.
I would say that the first cut had a pretty similar structure in terms of Taylor's present tense story of going from someone who is living to meet other people's expectations to someone who is being the person who she wants to be in the world. That was always there, but what did change was using backstory and fleshing out her previous career and her life earlier. And
I think one of the things we all talked about, deciding that the film wouldn't just be fan service. I think the film plays that way. You know, people have already been telling us that they didn't really know anything about her and they got a lot out of the film.
When I first met Taylor, she made really clear to me that she wanted a director's perspective on her life, on what she was going through. She's an extraordinary storyteller, and she knows that the best stories have a point of view. She also knew that she couldn't have an outside perspective on her own life. So for me, it was like a gift to hear that she wanted me as a director to go in there, find the story I wanted to tell.
Everything I did on the film, the best thing I did on this film was getting Lana to do it, because the kind of mind meld that happened with them was so crucial. And it happened almost instantaneously. It's funny because lots of people are feeling like, oh, you know, are there more secrets? You know, what else can you get out of her? And for somebody who has lived her whole life with incredible public scrutiny and has really tried to preserve her privacy, I feel like this film was such a huge reveal for her, way outside of her comfort zone.
The initial title idea was to have it only at the end of the film, and it was, is it cool that I said all that? Because Taylor says so much in this movie, and I think people are really surprised how outspoken she is, how self-aware she is, how funny she is, and how she really has a lot to say. Check out Miss Americana.
Now on Netflix.